All right, we're very excited to bring back Mr. Logan Thomas, football team tight end, to the Washington Football Talk podcast. Logan, how are you, man? How's the offseason going? How different is it this year knowing you're settled in Washington in your position compared to last year when COVID was going on, you were a free agent, you had just signed here? It's got to be a different season for you now.
No doubt. Definitely super happy to be back. I've been in flux kind of, my whole career. So it finally feels good to feel like I'm at home somewhere. Last year, COVID, I was sitting at home, kind of just doing video, doing whatever I can just to, figure out what the offense is going to be like. But going into this year, obviously I've been around. I'm a guy that understands the offense pretty well. So it's different for me this time. I'm trying to pick up the small things, the nuances for our installs now. So I'm super excited to go into training camp, get with the guys and see what we can do this year.
There's going to be some new guys in that huddle. Ryan Fitzpatrick, certainly Curtis Samuel, Adam Humphries. How excited are you for maybe a revamped offense, at least new skill position guys?
No doubt. I think we laid a good groundwork with a bunch of the guys that we had there last year, guys that are still there now, and, guys that have actually been in the, Curtis has been in the offense, so he understands the standard. The new guys coming in that are going to have to be figuring out the standard, the groundwork's already laid. All they got to do is jump on, and we'll continue to go. I'm excited to see what the offense can turn into. Obviously Ryan is a guy who likes to spin the ball, not really afraid of anything. So he's one of those guys that makes the game fun. We have playmakers all over the offense. So I'm just excited to see what it pushes us off to.
Has your career ever crossed paths with Fitzy? Do you guys know each other at all?
No, but I think the day after he signed, me and him talked. Just kind of got a feel for each other, and I can't wait to meet him in person.
Yeah, me too. Go ahead, Mitch.
So you talked a little bit about last season, COVID, and sitting at home. Another year in this offense. How much more comfortable do you feel, kind of as you hit the field? Do you feel like you're going to be able to play a little faster, a little more free, kind of knowing exactly what the coaches want of you and exactly what the playbook asks and whatnot?
Yeah, I think towards the end of the last season, I think you saw our whole offense get that understanding. And so for me, we're going through installs now, and I'm just picking up small things that I wouldn't normally have thought about or really picked up on last year. And just because I don't have to think about my assignment for that play at that time anymore, it's just second nature. So for me, it's just making that little extra.
You were a guy whose career high in catches was 16. Then you went to 77 last year, high 70s. You had 13 in one game. It felt like you skipped like 4 steps in the development as a tight end. So what's next in your career in 2021? Like, where do you go after you take such a leap forward? What little things are you still tinkering as a player?
Yeah, you just continue to build. As the 16 to 77 jump, I always had confidence in myself. If I ever had a chance to be the guy in a role, then I'd do my thing. And I'm just thankful that I had the opportunity last year to do so. I had the faith of not only quarterbacks, but the coaching staff. But, you got to go get one more, right? So 78 this year. I guess that'd be the goal. Obviously, any player wants to have more than they did the year before. For me, I'd like to have more than 7 wins too. So I'd like to get as many as we can, get a couple more in the playoffs.
A guy that's been in the league now a number of years, do you watch the draft?
I'll always watch the first round since being a kid to up until last year and this year. And I watched the first round last year or last night, should I say. And, I'm just a fan of NFL football to begin with. So I like to, kind of keep my eye on the young guys who are coming in and, put an arm over them and kind of guide them in the right direction, because you can't have too many people that have been in the league, seen a lot, have gone through things in a locker room, because, every situation is different and somebody can relate to somebody.
So I want to ask you about Jamin Davis, obviously, but now you came into the league as a quarterback, and quarterbacks always go number 1, top 5, all that. But a tight end, Kyle Pitts, goes number 4 overall. What's your reaction, and what do you think of his game?
Yeah, that dude's tough as nails, man. He's a baller. He's a dude. All the words you use for a guy who's a stud, man. He's every bit what you want. I saw his interview. He talked about he wanted to be better in the run game, and looking at some of his tape, he did very well in the run game in the SEC. So, this is a guy who who's not afraid to make plays and can ball. And number 4, I think that just sets the precedent for our position and how our position has actually taken off in the last couple of years.
So you say our position at tight end now, was that hard for you to like I do the radio now, but I still think of myself as like a blogger. You know what I mean? Like, when did you convert from being a quarterback to being a tight end?
Yeah, so it took a little bit of time. But really, once you start every single day, the grind starts wearing. So it probably took, 8 weeks into my first full season playing tight end until it settled. It was like, all right, quarterback's out of the way. My mind frame's completely changed. It's all, all tight end related now. And, people, like a couple times last year, they said, hey, you're the emergency guy, and somebody gets hurt, there's just one left. I'm like, look, man, if I have to go in there, don't expect greatness. I'm just going to go in there and throw that thing.
Did you see that with the new number rules, Pitts is wearing number 8?
Oh, man, it's going to be not only for defensive guys picking up offensive guys, but for offensive guys picking up like linebackers wearing 9, safeties wearing 8, corners wearing 6. That's going to be tough because a lot of that's dictated. Like, you don't even have to think about it. You look up, oh, there's a 50s number. It's either a D end or a linebacker. It's not even hard. But when you do the single digits, anybody can wear it. You're gonna be like, oh gosh, what positions he's playing? Is he the Sam? Is he the Mike? Is he the safety? So that's where you're really gonna have to focus and do some film study.
You talked about the conversion from quarterback to tight end. Tim Tebow's going through that now. You think he was sitting up in the broadcast booth last year watching you tear it up in the NFC East and was like, damn, I can do that?
Well, he definitely didn't say the D word. I can promise you that. But man, maybe I don't know that I would say I had any bearing on that. But Tebow's always been a competitor. He's one of the greatest college football players of all time. And he probably was sitting up there kicking himself, saying, "Man, I should have done this before when they asked me to." Because I kind of look at it sometimes. I was drafted as a quarterback, but sometimes like, man, what would I be at before I was drafted? I switched to tight end then. Hindsight's always 20/20, they say, but so far it's worked out for me, and for him, I wish him the best of luck because not only is he one of great football players, but great men.
So the hope with Jamin Davis is that he'll be able to cover a lot of tight ends and smaller guys as a linebacker for Washington. Just what is that like? It seems like tight ends and first linebackers, it's kind of like the new classic battle in the NFL. You're always looking for one who can handle the other. Just when you're across from a linebacker who can handle those things, just how do you think that impacts the defense and makes your job harder, knowing you can't necessarily bully him or run by him when it's just that perfect mix of size and speed?
Yeah, so it allows the defense to be much more multiple when you can have a guy that can do that. A lot of defenses, they can't, walk a big linebacker out there and say, hey, go cover this guy for, 10 snaps a game. It's probably not going to end well. But if you have a guy that's athletic like that, can move like that, especially in base defense when a lot of teams are playing nickel to base now, like to two tight end offenses, they can put the little guy out there to help cover. Well, you can leave big guy out there and you can still, force and fit the run better than you would in nickel. So it's something where defensive coordinators salivate at it, especially when you go into sub. Sometimes you want to leave 2 high safeties when you're playing a immobile quarterback. So you can play 2-man and just say, hey, look, you got the tight end, and you leave the 2 safeties to help roam over top of the deep guys. So, I think it makes, with the defensive line we got, the secondary we got, you just put another guy that can cover out there is, special. I can't wait to, get to talk to him, give him a couple of bit of the knowledge that I got just to help him grow as a player as fast as possible. And he's got a guy that's in front of him named John Bostic. Obviously, all you guys know him, but he is a pro's pro, and the dude knows the game. The dude completely understands the game, and he's going to be just a great guy for him to be around.
Hey, Logan, we really appreciate you taking the time. I know this is your off season, and we're appreciative. Is there anything we can help get the word out on your end? Charity stuff or social media, anything you'd like to promote?
Honestly, so my grandmother passed a couple of months ago. American Cancer Society, she was a breast cancer survivor for many years, for about 20 years. And so everybody just, keep your hearts out to those people. If you have your donations and you want to send it somewhere, please send it there. But for me and the family, we're starting a wedding venue in Lynchburg, Virginia, and it should break ground here within the next month or so. And then we'll be open for weddings sometime in the next March, April area. And, just very thankful and very blessed to still be a part of this team. So
that's very cool. I'm sorry to hear about your grandmother, but I'm curious, are you going to get like an internet certificate to actually conduct and hold will you be the officiant of the weddings? Is that an option?
You know what? I think I want to, honestly. Yes. I'd love to marry some people if they wanted me to. Now, I would say go get your own pastor, the person you're comfortable with, but if you're in a pinch, I got you.
I'm telling you, Washington football team fans are crazy. If there's an option for folks down there in the Lynchburg area for Logan Thomas to marry them, I think people are going to sign up.
And you can say, hey, you can throw me a pass too for a little extra money as well. That could be a part of the package.
Well, he could throw or catch.
Yeah.
Look at you guys, man. Look at you guys. I might have to pick y'all's brain a little bit more about this.
Well, listen, Pete's about ready to get married, so you got Logan there to take care of you, Pete.
Not true, but I think I will keep Logan in mind when the time comes, Mitchell.
And I'm trying to tell you, when my wife, puts all the stuff out there, you got to take a look. It's gonna be crazy. That's
awesome.
She's a mastermind with that.
Very cool. Well, thank you very much for the time, man. Get back to your family and enjoy the off. We're hoping we see you before August, but who knows what's going to happen.
Who knows? I'll be in the building from Monday to Thursday, so I don't know what you guys are going to.
We will not be.
But, well, I know that. But hopefully sometime before then.
All right. Thanks very much, man. Take care.
Thank you.